Today, Carmen burns 1,004.9 calories while exercising. Yesterday, she burned 648 calories. How many more? Anytime you have many more, you are going to subtract. Calories did Carmen burn today than yesterday? Well, the problem is we have a decimal and a whole number. So you have to, if you have decimals in the problem, you have to make everything be decimals. So I'm going to put, anytime you have a whole number, you just put a 0.0 at the end. Now when I'm writing this under the other one, you have to put your decimal point first. And then I have an 8 and a 0 next to that. And then in front of the 8, I have a 64. So you have to do the decimal and the numbers next to it first, and then plug in all the other numbers. Now any wholes get a 0, and we are going to subtract. So when you're actually subtracting these, it's decimal first. So you bring down the decimal. 9 take away 0 is 9. You cannot do 4 take away 8, so you have to borrow. You can't borrow from 0, so you have to borrow from 100. So take 1 away from 100, and that becomes 99. And write the 1 over there. Okay, 14 take away 8 is 6. 9 take away 4 is 5. 9 take away 6 is 3. And that 1 is gone. So 356.9 calories is how many more calories she burned. So far, Hans has driven 9.9 miles. He needs to drive a total of 19. That's not a decimal, so you have to make it a decimal by putting 0.0. How many more, much more, or many more means subtract, must Hans drive? Okay, so we've got 19.0, so you write down the decimal. You've got a 9 and a 0 next to that, and then you've got a 1 in front of the 9. Any wholes get zeros, and then we are going to okay, you can't subtract this because 9.9 is smaller than 19.0. So you've actually got to switch those. If you have a 0 leading in the front and the next number has a number that's not a 0, you've got to switch them because otherwise you wouldn't be able to subtract those. Okay, so subtract, bring down the decimal point because we're not working with negative numbers here. Okay, we can't do 0 from 9, so you've got to borrow 1 from the 9, make it an 8, and carry the 1. 10 take away 9 is 1. You can't do 8 take away 9, so you've got to borrow from the 1. 18 take away 9 is 9. So he's got to drive 9.1 more miles. Sorry. Melissa needs to drive a total of 202.6 miles. So far she has driven 59 miles. I'm going to make that 59.0. How many more means subtract miles must Melissa drive? So write down your decimal. We have a 9 and a 0 beside that. Then the other extra numbers fill in. We have a 5 in front of the 9. Any empty spaces get zeros. Now see how we don't have a 0 as the first number out front? So if you don't have a 0 out front, you've got your numbers in the right order. Okay, so minus. Bring down your decimal and start subtracting. 6 take away 0 is 6. 2 take away 9, you can't do that. So you've got to borrow 1 from the 20, make it 19. And that 1 that you borrowed comes over here. So 12 take away 9 is 3. 9 take away 5 is 4. And 1 take away 0 is 1. So she has 143.6 more miles to drive.